I now want to talk about the difference between a contest and a giveaway. What is a contest and what is a giveaway? Why is this topic discussed so much, and why do many brands and businesses hold contests on social networks? First of all, let's understand that a competition is one concept, and a giveaway is a completely different concept. In this case, let's start with the word giveaway first. What is a giveaway? A special contest page is created, and several sponsors are thrown into this contest page. These sponsors most often chip in for some expensive gift. It could be an expensive laptop or an expensive phone, etc. Typically, there will be from 10 to 100 sponsors involved. Before you get started, you need a contest page. Once you've created one, ask your audience to subscribe to all your sponsors and like all the latest photos, then basically wait for a miracle. But this methodology is not official on Instagram. It's more of a gray method of promotion. Instagram in the official rules prohibits these kinds of activities. Of course, you can say, many companies still carry out these types of activities. Why shouldn't we? Well, many companies really do them, but not on their main accounts, because if they are blocked, then they can create a new account. I highly recommend not to carry out an activity like this. From my experience and the experience of my clients, when they hold a giveaway after it's finished, everyone unsubscribes. So basically, it's money being flushed down the toilet. A slightly different method you can employ is called a contest. The contest is held among the subscribers of your Instagram account. Joint contests are done with partners. This means certain brand partners you collaborate with. For it to be effective, tell your audience to subscribe to you and your partner's account. It is important to understand that there should be clear conditions and rules for the competition. The gift is important and, of course, the most important benefit of a competition, and is a great way to gain an audience. As of today, there are no restrictions on these competitions, but just recently, there are already rumors that Instagram isn't happy about them. Just make sure that there are no new changes to the algorithm and you should be fine. Trust me, Instagram can quickly implement some new technology that can ban contests instantly. Often companies hold contests with branded hashtags. For example, they come up with a hashtag and make some kind of photo contest for this hashtag. They take some crazy fun photo, post it with a certain hashtag, then they ask their audience to participate. So in this case, it's fun, it motivates people to take pictures in a restaurant, take pictures with food, a product, and so on. There are also contests that require users to fill out forms. Users are offered to go to a site through Instagram and fill out a form there. There is a technology that makes this really easy called Google Forms. If you don't have a developer or a website, Google Forms is a great option. A user just has to leave his first name, last name, and phone number. You can then store all the data in an Excel spreadsheet. There are a lot of ways you can implement contests like these. A great way to do it is to have a contest that is centered around a holiday, like New Year's, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, etc. You can announce the winners on Instagram Live, which is a great way to get people to tune into you. There are a lot of contest ideas out there that you can implement. For example, the winner will have the funniest joke, picture, etc. I added some ideas you can use on this slide. Feel free to add them into your arsenal. When determining the winner of a competition, make sure everything is transparent and fair. Shoot a video, choose a winner live, post that winner to your stories, and post the gift. Don't delete these videos, save them. Let's sum up the competition. The most important thing is to take into account the mechanics so that it is clear to all users what you want from them. Tag a friend in the comments, make a funny joke, and so on. The gift that you will give is important. And also, do not forget about services like random.org or various Telegram bots that allow you to pull out comments and choose a winner. Remember, contests may be banned soon. Therefore, before holding a contest, be sure to make sure that it will not result in consequences from Instagram. Make content that engages, make content that will evoke emotions, and make content that they want to save. like, and comment on. If you follow these steps, you will have success. Let's talk about influencers. Who are they? Why do companies want to work with them? And how are they shaking up the marketing world? First, let's talk about options for cooperation. Today, there are several options for cooperation. The first option is when you cooperate through an agency, and the second option is when you write directly to a blogger that you like. Now, let's talk about both options and the pros and cons. Let's start with the agency. Roughly speaking, your business or company is knocking on the door of a particular agency. The agency, at your request, gives you a list of bloggers with whom they have already worked with. In cases where bloggers, let's say, let you down or do not post, the agency will replace that blogger with another. If they can't replace them, then they will definitely cover your expenses. They should provide a complete summary of statistics and analytics for these bloggers. They should also select specific bloggers for your project. It will cost money, of course, to go through an agency, which is one of the cons. In the first stages, not all businesses are ready to make that kind of investment. The second option is to work with bloggers on your own. You, on behalf of the brand, write to a specific blogger and ask to work together. They will then voice to you their conditions. For example, they might want your product in return for their services. One of the main disadvantages is time. After all, if you start communicating with numerous bloggers, you spend a lot of time on correspondence, approvals, sending goods, and so on. Another downside is that a blogger can disappear or just block you. Bloggers unfortunately do not always fulfill their side of an agreement. Both options have their pros and cons. Later in the course, I will show you some services you can use to search for bloggers to work with. There are some other issues that can arise when working with an agency. Sometimes agencies will pair you up with unknown bloggers whose credibility has not been verified. Sometimes bloggers will demonstrate bizarre behavior that is not on par with your brand. For example, while working on one of my projects, the agency provided us with a list of bloggers, and one of the bloggers tried to drink a glass of beer with her nose, and it definitely wasn't appropriate for our client. This blogger was supposed to be a mom blogger. We wanted a blogger who brought a sense of warmth and kindness, but in the end, her behavior on Instagram stories caused a storm of negativity. Understandably, having seen this in advance, we did not work with this blogger. Even if an agency offers you a blogger they say is good, be sure to check them out in advance to see if they are a fit for you. I'd suggest you also make a backup plan with another blogger just in case the one you choose does something unexpected. To work with bloggers, a huge number of different services, programs, and applications are used. There are certain Instagram profiles in which opinion leaders and bloggers gather to share reviews. It's a good idea to look for such profiles specifically in your country or region. Among the useful services that I really want to share with you are the photo processing services VSCO and Snapseed. I also want to recommend the story processing services StoryArt, StoryLux, and Unfold. This is a Crello service that allows you to make graphic layouts for stories and feeds. This is a social baker service where you can find bloggers. There is a special section with bloggers. And the Live Dune service, which also allows you to effectively analyze bloggers and check their accounts. Roughly speaking, when working with bloggers, it is important to consider that when you create some kind of layout, you have one type and the blogger has another. Do not use the blogger's photo in your account because the blogger has already posted it on their account. If a blogger has already posted a photo, it belongs to the blogger, not you. Therefore, you need to create a separate photo with the product and mention the blogger. Thus, you get two photos, one for the blogger, one for you. Let's summarize. When working with bloggers, remember that it is important to find the blogger who has a similar audience to yours. Do not forget that there are different ways to collaborate with bloggers. I highly recommend that you try working with bloggers because it is effective and gets results. One of the most popular and discussed topics. So, should they be used, and what are they exactly for? And of course, how does a business even use them? Let's figure it all out. When you shoot on your phone or shoot in some popular location, you can use this or that hashtag so that users find your photo. This is what my wife often does. When we go somewhere to travel, she finds interesting places for a certain hashtag in order to be photographed in one or another location. Or she finds some places in a particular location for a specific hashtag. There is an audience that loves to find photos, for example, of their cars. I drive a Volkswagen Golf, and I can enter the hashtag Volkswagen Golf 6 and in this case find the same car. Roughly speaking, hashtags can be used to find interesting photos for your brand and product. Basically, it's a useful tool that you can use to find content and a way to be found by other users. There are several theories, but the point that I want to make sure to indicate is never use the most popular hashtag. Very often they roll out lists of popular hashtags. There is a subscription for a subscription, like for a like, follow for a follow, and so on. Today, these are considered garbage hashtags. They will not give you any results except for an audience that will simply subscribe and then unsubscribe. There are several strategies for hashtags. In fact, there may be about 5 to 10 of them, but I will tell you about 2 strategies that are by far the most popular. In the first strategy, we focus on 3 to 5 hashtags. That means each photo in your profile has no more than 3 to 5 hashtags. These are most often branded hashtags that are often supported by large brands and big businesses because they have the largest advertising budgets. They can promote any publication that they want to convey through advertising and get the required reactions to it. But there is a second strategy. This is the case when the business does not have a big budget, and some businesses do some kind of experiments with hashtags. One of my friends sells things from various stock stores in a single copy. He doesn't have a budget for advertising, so he relies on hashtags. Under each post, he can place no more than 30 hashtags, 20 of them in the description, 10 in the comments, testing them periodically. For example, he uses the hashtags children's shorts, shorts for a child, shorts for a boy, shorts for a girl, and so on. And in this case, mothers who want to buy shorts for their child get to him through hashtags. After this post flies out of the recommendations, he tries to change the hashtags, but only to new ones that have not been used. This option is suitable for those who have a lot of time and have the opportunity to constantly use various documents and services. The first strategy goes more with branded hashtags. The second strategy comes with more hashtags. Here are some tools that can help you work with hashtags. They can track hashtag popularity so you can choose the best ones. There's also such a thing as a geotag. A geotag is when a profile indicates where the picture was taken. This is also a good feature, but Instagram is now trying its best to fight fake pictures. When they catch accounts that create these fake pictures, they immediately block them, so only use authentic photos. To keep track of how effective your hashtags are, make sure to create the business account I mentioned earlier. That way, you can see all the statistics for each post. You'll be able to see which hashtags are getting engagement and which are not. Make sure to monitor this regularly so you can better optimize your posts. In order for you to fully understand the analytical side of Instagram, we will cover the topic in detail in the next section. Stay tuned. Earlier, we were talking about content plans and strategies. You shouldn't post whatever and whenever you want. When you make Instagram your work tool, it's important to collect and analyze statistics. This is one big reason to transfer a personal Instagram account into a business account. So whatever you post, make sure to check the data and see if it is resonating with your audience. You might think a piece of content is cool and trendy, but your audience might not see it that way. Vice versa, your audience might like something you find boring. Pay attention to statistics to get a great conversion rate. Using analytics is a great way to understand how well your Instagram promotion is going. You can analyze actions and your audience. Let's go over in detail what you can analyze on your profile and some tools that can assist you. To find profile statistics, you need to click on the menu bar and then click on Statistics. In the Statistics section, you track your main account metrics. You can see reach, impressions, and other critical metrics. Here in front of you is the Analysis metrics. Statistics can be viewed for the past 7 days and 30 days. We can also see popularity by the day. Popularity means when your audience is the most active. We also have a metric called reach. Through the reach metric, we can understand how many audiences we've reached. Pay attention again to the slide. We can see the coverage metric. We want this metric to constantly increase. Next is the interaction analysis metric. These are the interactions that I spoke about earlier in the lesson. The more they interact with the content topics, the better. So try to track this metric. Each post has interaction metrics. On the slide, you can see which post the audience interacted with. Here, in the story analysis section, we can see a specific story and archive stories that were also posted. All of this is highlighted now on the slide in front of you. You can go to each publication and click on the View Statistics tab and see how many likes, saves, and interactions a post received. For stories, it's the same thing. To view the analytics of a particular story, you go to the Archive section. In the archive, you can find the stories that are best for your audience by looking at their engagement. If we are talking about IGTV, then this function can also be monitored and analyzed. If you make videos for IGTV, this is an ideal opportunity to understand how much you need them and how many audiences they reach. You can see all the data with IGTV metrics. This info will help you create a portrait of the target audience. Remember, at the beginning, I told you about the portrait of the target audience? This is the analytics metric that will help you with your Instagram account. These analytics will only work if there is some kind of audience present. If this is an empty account, then unfortunately, you will not be able to take advantage of these metrics. As soon as you gain some kind of audience, come here at least once a week and see how many women and men you have. You can conduct surveys and ask your audience, which city are you from? And of course, they will gladly answer you. Here we can observe the activity of women, men, activity by day of the week, and activity by age. This is very important for delivering the right content to the audience. These are ad campaigns. If you run an ad, you can see the performance of that ad. I will show you in more detail a little later about the possibilities of running ads through Instagram applications. This is a very handy feature, and it does not take much time, but its functionality is rather limited, unfortunately. But this ad works and, of course, gives results. Services for statistics. Internal statistics on Instagram are not enough. Therefore, we very often resort to additional services that allow us to analyze posts and accounts. In this case, we can analyze hashtags, we can analyze subscriptions, and unsubscription requests. We can analyze stories, and we can compare ourselves to other accounts. But the disadvantage, unfortunately, is that you have to pay for most services. They have a trial period of about 7 to 14 days. But believe me, this is absolutely enough for you. Instagram's internal statistics are absolutely free, but its functions are not enough. If you want something more, then here is a list of popular services. Use these services and be sure to test your account and your main competitors. See what they are doing, what stories are popular with them, what posts and what contests they are getting the most attention and the most activity from. So one of the most important and frequently asked questions is how to get subscribers from scratch. It's easy to do marketing if you have a big account, but not all of us have that luxury. So what should you do if you have absolutely zero followers? Let's start with the competitors first. Make a list of competitors and see who they follow, what they discuss, and what hashtags they use. Be sure to study the current audience in your country and foreign projects. They can help you find new ideas, interesting trends, and help you come up with ways to integrate yourself into the global picture. Use catchy photos and try to make interesting content that people want to read and interact with. Make contests and work with opinion leaders. Run ads because no matter how much cool content you have, few people will see it if you don't advertise. Let's talk about a not so very pleasant thing, such as being blocked on Instagram. Unfortunately, each of you may encounter this, but there are a number of rules and requirements from the Instagram company that are important to follow. Unfortunately, when we talk about being blocked, we mean that your profile has been completely blocked and everything you did, invested, and tried, you lose. Let's go through a certain checklist that I made for you that covers what cannot be posted on Instagram and what you should be paying attention to. The first is naked bodies. In this case, both Facebook and Instagram have an artificial intelligence that determines the percentage of a naked body. Here is an example of how the AI will scan photos. We worked with a brand that deals with vitamins, and we had a girl on our advertisement that was in a short t-shirt and short sports shorts. For some reason, Facebook considered that this was an erotic photo, and we explained to Facebook for a long time that the girl is an athlete and this is not an erotic photo. But the algorithm deemed it so. Therefore, be sure to keep in mind that erotic photos cannot be posted because, again, you will be blocked by artificial intelligence algorithms, not even because someone complains about them. Next is copyright in music, videos, stories, and advertising. Do not steal or take music without permission from the artist. Next is subscribing to everyone. In order to develop their account, many try to subscribe to as many accounts as possible. This does not always give a good result because in the end, your account will probably be banned. Further, it is forbidden to post the Instagram logo. This is a strange rule, and I can share our Academy's experience with you. We took pictures in the office and we had Instagram pillows on the couch. We posted this photo on Instagram and Instagram blocked us. Why? Because you can't use their logo in a photo. According to Instagram, you are misleading the audience when you do this. Therefore, do not overlay the Instagram logo on your photos. This is prohibited by official rules. Using auto posting is a very controversial topic because if you auto post to Instagram through Creator Studio, then everything will be fine. But if you use third-party services, then security locks are possible. This is not a complete profile ban, this is a security lock, and you will need to re-log in through your phone number and change the password. But again, I do not recommend using third-party services. There are a number of nuances you have to pay attention to. Your account can be blocked if it's being used by several people at one time. If several people use the account at the same time, you can get blocked. If they sit more than 3 or 5 people at the same time under the same login and password, understand that you can get a security ban, but it's not super critical as it can be bypassed. Using photos of famous stars, personalities, actors, and so on is also problematic. According to the Facebook rules, this is prohibited. Again, let me remind you, Facebook and Instagram are a single platform, and their rules overlap in many ways. If you use a photo of a celebrity, you do so at your own risk. If you encounter any difficulties and problems in court cases, Instagram or Facebook will not take part. Branded pages. If you represent a large business, big business, or a large company, Instagram has the right to request documents from you. This situation happened to me when I was working with a TV channel. When we were doing advertising, we were faced with the fact that Instagram representatives asked for a document, and I gave them an agreement between me and the London TV channel that I have the right to represent their interests. Next, like and subscribe. To get a mass following and a huge number of likes, some people share their password with other people so they can do all the work. If one account is being used on multiple devices at the same time, Instagram might get suspicious and block you. Of course, you can get blocked by mistake. In this case, the only thing you need to do is write to support through the application. Unfortunately, mistakes can and do occur, but the most important thing is not to break the rules. We will also add a link to the Instagram rules that details what you can and cannot do.